can you tell me a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, would you share a story or two from the rehearsal shows at City Winery? They've become such a sort of storied, fabled thing.
Yeah, I mean, they really are a rehearsal. I usually introduce it and go something like, thank you all for coming. This truly is a rehearsal. It's possible we're going to start a song and we're going to try and go in order of the set. Not every artist who's on the show tomorrow, and I would say at the second best venue in New York, tomorrow night at Carnegie, not everyone is there or here. So if that's the case, someone from the band will probably sing the song, but we're going to try and do it in order. But it's a rehearsal, so there probably are going to be some screw ups. And if you don't mind, we'll be starting songs over, and you're here to participate in the process of what we're doing for tomorrow night. And that really is what it is. The night of is wonderful, but the rehearsal, they're sound checking all day. Artists try and stay for dinner and maybe go in a hotel and come back. But there's all kinds of this incredible interaction backstage, talking, and you start seeing some artists talking to another artist and saying, hey, listen, why don't you sit in with the band for this? And so all of a sudden, some new configurations happen at the day of the rehearsal and the rehearsal show that was not part of the plan the day before. And we'll see if it happens on the next day, that night. But you definitely see some interesting new interactions that are happening. Part of it is also the interpretation of these songs that are now being expressed by somebody in their own voice, who you love them anyways with their own material. But the way they're interpreting the honorees' work always shines some new light on what the intention was of that song. And that part to me is one of the most, I'm getting like little goosebumps thinking about it. Cause like when you hear a song that you've been very familiar with done by a new artist, but not just trying to replicate, but actually giving it some nuance that maybe you didn't see, but they did, it just takes it to another level. And the rehearsal is where they're truly now either premiering it truly for the first time in front of an audience. So during the day, it's just fellow musicians, during the true rehearsal. But the rehearsal show, they're actually now able to gauge reaction. And the beauty of City Winery or any big plug for small venues is when you're 15 feet away from the audience and you can give back the energy, it really feeds upon itself. And so there's no better reaction and understand how well you're doing or how you should spin it, whether it's vocal or the instrumental component, so that you're actually seeing the live effect of the interpretation.